Well, episode 2 of The Better Half Hour.
We're so excited to be back at it tonight. I'm McKenzie.
I'm Josh.
And we are married. We have 4 kids. And we just started this podcast as a way to just relate to other people. It's kind of just our chat after the kids go to sleep.
Yep, that's kind of what we're structuring it as. If you have any ideas for segments, we're trying to come up with fun and interesting segments for this podcast. So if you have any ideas, then let us know. As a reintroduction, this is our dog Archie, who will probably be with us in every episode.
He really loves Josh, so yeah.
Yeah. So, we've had a fun week, a big week in some ways. We did acquire a new thing in our family.
Yes, we've been looking for a grill barbecue for a very long time, pretty much since we moved into this house about a year and a half ago.
Yeah, we finally got a backyard, so a grill was something that I've wanted, and it's always something that for me has been hard to justify the money because we have a stove, but I've always loved the idea of standing outside and grilling and making yummy hamburgers.
And we do like looking for things secondhand. I don't know, but feels like there's always a good deal on things, and especially when they're like lightly used. So anyway, I was driving around and saw a grill outside during bulk trash week and called Josh. I was super excited. But you never know what you're gonna get and why it's out there, if it's even gonna work or not. But yeah, called him, FaceTimed him.
And guys, I have the best wife ever. So here's what McKenzie does. She goes home, and during nap time, miraculously, both the kids go to sleep. And she goes out.
First, I tried to load it in the car.
First she tried to load in the car. It wasn't happening. I had a really solidly booked day of meetings. They couldn't really reschedule to come help. But she hauls this barbecue through the neighborhood down, probably a quarter mile. Maybe.
Yeah, probably.
It wasn't too far.
Yeah, but it was a few streets down from our house, and it was not getting in the car. So it was, it's got wheels. I guess I'm gonna push it home.
And so McKenzie gets to home, and I have a brother that's close by. I call him, and he has an extra propane tank that has a little bit of propane left in it. So I'm okay. I don't really want to go buy a propane tank before I find out if this thing works. So he brings over a propane tank. We hook it up, and this grill, it's perfect. So I'm kind of obsessed with it. I've kind of come down the rabbit hole a little with it.
Yeah, I haven't looked into it at all, but Josh did.
So this is the Weber Silver B, I believe. And this is one of those grills that I believe it was produced between 2000 and 2005. And people still swear by it. So it's either between 20 years old to 25 years old. And it is still in perfect condition. All the burners work on it. The ignition switch works on it. It has some rusted spots, and we probably should put some new grates on it, but you can get the grates for fairly cheap on Amazon. And yeah, it is awesome.
Yeah, we've already used it twice this week.
Yep. I spent a couple hours just scrubbing it down, tried power washing it. It was pretty covered in twigs and dirt and kind of grime and stuff, but it's back up to full operating potential, and it's grilled. Yeah.
Yeah, my guess is that they just got a new one for Christmas or something and put it out there, and so we lucked out. Yeah.
So anyway, and just as some background, I don't know how many cities or municipalities do this, but every 6 weeks or so, it's like bulk trash week where they come around and collect larger things, like some appliances they'll collect, and just
it's all like furniture and
stuff.
Yeah,
usually just furniture. I think there's some height and weight and size requirements and everything, but it's a good time for people that like secondhand things like we do.
I'm always happy when people pick stuff up off the side of the road instead of it just going to the landfill. So
yep, we also lucked out on a little toddler trampoline that we'd been looking for a while. Got that. So.
Our kids are thrilled about it.
Yep. It's not the most attractive looking toddler trampoline.
It's not.
There's some very interesting color selections on it.
It has like a cartoon dog on it though, so our little girl was really happy about that.
So there's our little bulk trash thrifting secondhand story.
It was a win.
Yep.
I was questioning it while I was hauling it down the street.
I was so
driving
excited.
by. I'm like, don't look at me.
So I call my brother, the one with the propane tank, and he's like, I'm like, hey, I got it. I lucked out. I scored a barbecue. It looks like really good. And I didn't know too much about barbecues before this because it's always something that like I didn't want to dive into because I knew I would end up spending more money than I wanted to, because I knew I would like look into it and want to get the nice one. And so I just like, it's a rabbit hole I haven't really gone down. And my brother's like, if it's not a Weber, don't just don't even bother with it because it's going to be broken. I'm like, well, it's a Weber. He's like, no way. And so, yeah.
Nice.
And my brother, I don't know if he wants me sharing the story, but he had a barbecue kind of like explode on him.
Oh yeah.
He luckily didn't get hurt too bad. I think some burns, but he fried off all of his hair and his eyebrows and stuff.
And eyelashes.
And
yeah.
eyelashes. It could have been really bad, but luckily it wasn't too bad. He just looked kind of funny for a little bit.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So that's what he was going to tell me. He's like, it's not worth the safety risks, but he's like, Weber's in good shape. So
I can trust it.
Yep.
That's good.
I think it's kind of the Toyota of barbecues. That's how I've heard it described.
I like that.
Yeah. All right. Well, there's our Weber story. Not sponsored, although Weber, if you're interested.
Do they do sponsorships on podcasts?
Probably
not.
Probably not.
But you can put it out there.
All right. So some big media news broke this week. And this is one where if you want to skip over it, I might understand, but I do want people to hear me out on this.
Yeah, we're super excited about this. Just yesterday?
Yesterday. Yeah. As of recording yesterday, Apple Studio announced that they acquired the rights to Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere universe and for film and TV adaptation.
We are big fans of Brandon Sanderson in this house. So we are so excited because I know that Josh knows much more about this than I do. He's followed Brandon and taken his classes and
yeah. So I'll back up a little bit for the uninitiated here. So Brandon Sanderson is one of the currently best-selling fantasy authors. He made the news, like mainstream news, a couple of years ago because he launched a Kickstarter that was the biggest in Kickstarter history. It was something $45 million or something insane like that to kickstart.
It's crazy.
Like 4 or 5 books that are referred to as the secret projects that he kind of wrote without anybody knowing, not even his publisher, which is why he was able to kind of self-publish.
He's like a writing machine.
He writes so much.
Yeah.
And it's good quality.
Yeah.
Not the best, but good, like pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's broken all sorts of records in terms of doing that and kind of pushed the industry in what I consider a pretty good direction. There's some political drama and stuff about consolidation in the publishing industry, and he's been pushing against that from kind of an insider perspective. And I think what he's been doing has been really valuable for the publishing industry, as well as just his works stand by themselves really, really well. And so this deal, he's guarded the rights to these adaptations very carefully. He sold them 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's a while ago.
Yeah, and nothing ever came from it, but he did get paid a fairly good amount for them, I believe. The rights reverted back to him after nothing was made, and so he's talked publicly about shopping them around and just not being too impressed with the offers he's gotten. But from what he said and what's been reported by like the Hollywood Reporter is that he got really good concessions from Apple, where he gets, Hollywood Reporter described it as more control than like any other mainstream author, including like J.K. Rowling for Harry Potter and George R.R. Martin for Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon. And so he gets he gets to write the first draft of the script and then gets any veto power he wants over the final draft of the script. So pretty big deal in terms of, having a vision that's faithful to what the author intended.
Yeah. And we've loved everything Apple. I mean, the things that we've watched on Apple TV, we've really enjoyed. It feels like they do good quality. And
not only good quality, but they seem to really care about what the creator's vision is. Like the shows that we've watched, everything from Severance and Pluribus to like Ted Lasso, they're very creative driven in the sense that like, Ben Stiller's talked about Severance, how he has such a vision for Severance, and even like Ted Lasso, it's just like meant to be optimistic and uplifting. And you could see versions of both of those shows that don't work nearly as well if they're not firmly grounded and established by the creators behind them.
Yeah, it's true. It's like they're not afraid to push boundaries to make it what it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Another good example, which I started, was the one with Jason Momoa, the one with the history of Hawaii. I watched. It was good. I haven't finished it, but it's another one where you can totally tell that the creative vision behind it, and they try and make it fit that creator's vision. It seems more than just creating something that could have mass market appeal.
Yeah, I'm excited to see these books adapted. Did they say they're doing Mistborn first?
Yes.
Which I think is the most like, I don't know, mainstream
Approachable.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people are gonna like seeing that.
So there's a trilogy called Mistborn, and they're making movies out of that. And then they are also announced a TV show of the Stormlight Archive, which is his magnum opus, I would say, but it's much less approachable. The books are
That's really
1,200 pages long, and there's 5 of them out so far. Mistborn is more like 800 pages or so, and so more and just more approachable, less viewpoints.
Yeah, less
characters, less crazy magic systems. Still
the plot's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, plot's more straightforward. So yeah, so that's going to come out first, according to what's been reported.
Yeah, I don't know how long it'll be, but whenever it happens, it's going to be good. I'm excited.
Yep.
At least we have high hopes that it'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Do we want to keep going on media?
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been watching A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Josh also mentioned Game of Thrones. I don't know. Should I share my story?
Yeah.
Game of Thrones. It's a little different. So I jumped in as Josh and my brother were watching the final season of Game of Thrones. I had seen a couple episodes here and there that Josh showed me. He was like, "This show is so cool," but I mean, it's not my typical style of show because it's intense and gory and all that. But I jumped in on that last season, and I know everybody hated the last season, but I hadn't seen the rest of the show, so to me, I was like, "This is so cool." So it made me want to go back and watch the rest of the show. So for the past 3 years, every Sunday night, we've watched an episode of Game of Thrones. I mean, we've missed some here and there, but we finished a couple weeks ago so that we could watch A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Anyway, I really loved watching Game of Thrones that way, I think, because I knew how the ending was going to be, so I was not too disappointed in it because I already knew what was going to happen. I can see why people were upset, but I had already seen it, so I couldn't be too mad. And I just enjoyed getting to know the characters up to that point. And so
Journey before destination.
Yeah.
As Brandon Sanderson would say.
Yes. I hear people saying that they won't watch it because they hear the ending is bad. And I would still say it's worth watching because it's such a good show. It's so good. But
100%.
But yeah, now we're on A Night of the Seven Kingdoms that just started.
Yeah. And I've been impressed too. It's again, more approachable. If you haven't watched any of the Westeros stuff, any of the Game of Thrones stuff, it's much less intense than House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones. So it might be a better place for people to jump in at if they haven't seen any of that. I mean, it's not. It's just much less intense. Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, it's you get the same world and cinematography and all that's really great, and you can tell the writing. I mean, it's George R. R. Martin and the writers of the show are doing a good job, but it's more lighthearted for sure.
There's a subgenre of fantasy called cozy fantasy, and it feels almost cozy fantasy where you're just following characters through a snippet of their life.
Not very high.
Yeah, stakes are not very much. I mean, he might lose his horse and his armor and stuff, so there are stakes, but it's not insanely, where you're tracking all these huge wars and battles and houses and politics and all this. It's much more grounded than that.
Yeah. And I think for people who have watched Game of Thrones, they really play on that. It's the lead up to a moment where you think something big is going to happen and then it doesn't. And it just makes it even funnier.
If you want more of my thoughts on that, I mentioned last episode that I do a podcast about fantasy books and TV shows and stuff called Phantology. So we covered the first 2 episodes and then also covered how it relates to the work that it's adapted from. So you can go check that out if you want my detailed thoughts about it.
Yeah, but we're enjoying that one. We haven't had a lot of time to watch anything else this week because our 2-year-old's struggling with sleep. So
yes,
it's been an adjustment. We just decided that he's done with naps. And that's, any parent knows, it's a rough stage when the toddler stops napping. So we're dealing with that.
Yeah, it's been a struggle.
Yeah.
And even okay, I think you should rant about this channel that you found on YouTube.
Wait, which? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, our 2-year-old's he's gone through phases of Blippi, Danny Go. He watches just videos of trains.
He's
toys.
really into toy trains.
Yeah.
Ever since Christmas time when we had the Christmas train going around the tree.
Yeah. And so these are the reasons we've watched YouTube with him. But lately he found a channel that like, and I mean, we're with him, but like it's one of those like, it's like Coco Melon, but it's not Coco Melon. I don't even know what it's called. Today I was like, I went on that channel because that's all he wants to watch is like this video of, it's like a kid going to sleep and then he's a baby and he just cries in his bed for his mom. And I'm like, okay, that's like not great. But then I go back on the channel and there's another one that he wanted to watch. And there's a kid that's like trying to go potty and the toilet blows up huge and then the kid falls in the toilet. Like, that's like a kid's nightmare. And then there's one with like a green creepy monster that comes outside the kid's window, and then there's one where the kid's just crying to not go to sleep, and there's no resolution of like, this is why you should go to sleep. It's just the whole video is just, I don't want to sleep. And
I should say it doesn't seem like these are meant to mess kids up necessarily.
Maybe the idea is like, this is what's going on in a kid's brain, so let's like help them work through it.
To me, it just seems like a poorly done Coco Melon.
It's so bad.
Like it's so bad, but it's not like I don't think it's intentionally trying to scare the kids. Like
I said, I think it's probably like, I don't know. I've seen other videos that are like, oh, I don't want to go to sleep, but then bedtime is good, you know?
Yeah.
But there's no resolution to that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like, here's your worst nightmares. There you go. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And it's not like scary, but for a kid it could be. And so I think it's affecting him.
I think, we're cutting
like, it out. I got to make sure that it's not like playing the next video, you know, I got to make sure he's not just.
I think you can block the channel. We should probably just do that.
We should do that because, watch out, man. Yeah. You always hear like, oh, kids are going to come across crazy stuff on YouTube. And so far we have not encountered that.
And I wouldn't say that this isn't that. This isn't like,
no.
This isn't like you would this wouldn't like make the news or anything.
No, not at all. It's not like it should be banned.
It's meant to be a G less than G rated thing. It's just they did not think through. It just doesn't seem like they thought through the messages that they're sending.
Yeah, just something that we have to watch for with him now because he has always been a great sleeper and now he's waking up crying in the middle of the night, and so that's not fun. Not fun. It doesn't want to take naps, but we'll figure it out.
I came across a Reddit thread I want to discuss with you. I'm excited about this one.
Let's do it.
So this might be kind of a segment where we look at some like hot like Reddit threads that generate a lot of controversy, and we'll link to it. I don't have it pulled up to read from, but I'll recap it for you. Okay. So this is from the guy's perspective. So it's a very, I would be interested to hear the woman's perspective, like from the story, but I do want to talk about you with it. So it starts where this guy's dad, or the title of it is, it's from the Am I the A-hole subreddit, right? And so the general title is like, Am I the A-hole for refusing to tell my wife that I love her more than my dad? Okay, so there's the title for it. All right, so that's the framing of it going in. So so that's setting the scene. Going into it, this is the story that unfolds. Do
you want to read it or just?
I think I'll just summarize.
Okay.
I'll just summarize, and we'll link to it hopefully in the description. It has a crazy amount of upvotes, so it's not hard to find.
Okay.
So here's the story. This couple, I think it's their first kid. Not 100% sure. Sounded like first kid. This is a first kid problem. I'll just say that. Okay. So they go out and they go on a date, and the guy's dad, so the wife's father-in-law, is babysitting the baby. I think it sounded like under a year-old baby. Okay, so babysitting the baby. They come home, and the baby's asleep, and the dad's holding the baby. Mm-hmm. Okay, with the baby sleeping. Okay. So the wife kind of sounds like she gets mad. The husband takes the baby and puts the baby to sleep. And when he comes out, his wife and her father-in-law, his dad, are like having like a hushed, like a whisper argument as to not disturb the baby. Okay. And then he had gone to pick up his dad. It sounds like his dad had poor eyesight, so he stopped driving. So he had brought his dad over to their house and then goes and takes the dad home and comes back to a very angry wife. Okay. So what are your thoughts so far?
Why is she mad?
So she's mad. She's seemingly mad because she's worried that the dad holding the baby to sleep like is messing with the baby's sleep, messing up the baby's sleep schedule. Like, because if you've worked really hard to put the baby down and get the baby to fall asleep in the crib, and then they fall asleep being held. We've been there with first kid. First kid problems.
Yes. Fourth kid, you're like, great job, you got him to sleep, and even if they're screaming when you get home, you're like, we got a date night. Great.
Okay. But okay. Go back to our first child. Okay, this does seem like a conversation that we would have.
Okay.
Okay. So try and get in that mindset.
All right.
So what are your thoughts so far?
Yeah, that maybe she's just mad because that's not what she wanted. Not how she wanted him to handle bedtime.
So is it a reasonable like what's the reasonability on like a scale of like 1 to 10?
I mean, yeah, my thoughts back then would have been different than now. Right now, I'm like, that's ridiculous. So
put yourself in first baby problems.
First baby, I think it's a little reasonable. Like depending on how clear the communication was beforehand, I think that plays into it.
So maybe say that. And I don't think the story got into this, but let's just imagine a scenario where the husband was supposed to tell his father the bedtime routine and either didn't emphasize the importance of the bedtime routine or didn't have the conversation or something like that happened.
Okay, then I think that's, something to be reasonably upset about.
I think it's like, personally, I think it's maybe in the realm of like 5 to 7 out of 10 reasonableness, like, not being a 5 to 7 like on the upset scale, but like a reason to be upset.
To be mad.
A reason to be upset at all. I would say it's like somewhere between like a 5 to 7.
Yeah, I'd agree.
For the first baby. I think right now, I think like a 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Like I can see where they're coming from.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So here's where the argument goes from there. She says that, and this is where I would be really interested to like get her side of the story. But like, so he leaves and takes his dad home, comes back. She's mad first about the baby, now because she felt like he was like gossiping with his dad, and he's like, well, I picked him up. I was always planning on taking him home. She's like, well, you knew we were fighting and we needed to have this discussion. You should have like called him an Uber or figured out another way for him to get home. And then she's like, it just seems like you love me, or you love your dad more than me. Is her takeaway. And then he was like, that's absurd. And she's like, well, tell me that you love me more than your dad. And he's like, no, I'm not going to rate how much I love you versus my dad.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. So that's pretty much the entire story. We'll link to it. So what are your thoughts?
I know, so she's putting him in some really really frustrating situation. But also I don't know. He's being unreasonably stubborn as well.
About his dad? So if I pin you down,
if it makes her feel better, just say that he loves her more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, no, I get that. But I could see myself being stubborn about this.
But she's being stubborn to make him like say that, oh my goodness. So much. Yeah, aside from the fact that she's upset about this in the first place, which, I could see my first kid self being upset about this because I would.
Again, that's why I think reasonable. I think she's crossed the threshold of something that is reasonable for her to be upset about, I think.
So before he left to take his dad home, he knew that she was mad.
He knew that she was mad.
Okay, but he maybe didn't know how mad she was.
Sounds like it.
Okay.
Again, this is where I'd be interested to get her side of the story. Like if she's like making it pretty clear that
she needs to talk to him.
That he's like feels like he's walking out on an important conversation.
Yeah, because it seems like he didn't know that, or he would.
From his telling, it seems like he was doing the reasonable thing by taking his dad.
And then he was kind of surprised at how mad she was when he got back.
That's what.
Okay, because it'd be different if he knew she was like
sounds
furious,
like
and he's like, I don't want to deal with this right now. Yeah. That's different. Yeah. Oh, I don't know though, because even if he didn't want to deal with it right now, I think that's totally fine. Yeah, just go take some space before you talk it out. I don't know. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because I feel like I'm on the guy's side in this, but I feel like there is a scenario that you can construct where like he's being stubborn and unreasonable, and like maybe was just trying to avoid the argument and didn't tell the dad, his dad about the proper bedtime. So I could see a scenario in which like she's justified in feeling like this. And I also do think that he's like, being a little bit stubborn with refusing to tell her what she wants to hear in terms of the...
Yeah, like that's just not worth it. Like to have that always in your marriage of like, I'm not going to tell you that I love you more than my dad.
So how much does the background play into like that final question on like, is he the a-hole for like not telling his wife that he loves her more than his dad?
Yeah, it's like ultimately kind of, but like she set him up to, I don't know.
To me, it seems, okay. Yeah, like it seems a little bit like absurd to like rate how much you love people in like separate categories, Right.
But, I don't know. And to say in that scenario that's showing that he loves his dad more. I don't know. I guess from her perspective, his communication with his dad was not prioritizing her, and then like leaving the conversation was not prioritizing her. That made her feel like she was less important. But I still wouldn't put that on like love, Like, it could just be you're not prioritizing our communication. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Because it's not like he's showing more appreciation for his dad by doing those things. Like, I don't know. And then, yeah, it's just a different kind of love for your parents than you have for your spouse.
Yeah.
It's not like something that you can rate or rank.
Well, for her it is.
Which is dumb of her to ask him that. I don't know.
All right. Yeah. I think I mostly agree with you. Yeah. I would say no, he's not. But
he's not the a-hole.
I would say no.
Sorry, we don't swear, so
and just the algorithm and stuff. Yeah.
But if he like continues to just like, I'm not gonna say that, like, I don't know. That's annoying.
That also is kind of annoying.
Yeah. Like, can he just say I love you in a different way than I love my dad? Like, can they just have that conversation?
It seems like it.
And I didn't mean to. I'll do better next time at making sure you feel prioritized, and then I'll communicate what you want me to. And I didn't understand you were so mad. Like, there's so many conversations you can have that don't have.
But ultimately, if it boils down to like, is she going to make him say that? And if he's going to refuse to say that,
then I think it's silly for him to refuse to say that.
All
ultimately.
Right. Ultimately. All right. Weigh in the comments. Let us know what you think. I think it's a fun one.
Did you read any of the comments?
I didn't. I just wanted to go in blind, so I don't even know what the Reddit consensus was.
People are saying we're gonna have to read those.
Yeah. All right. Well, weigh in.
Oh man, but yeah, I think it is funny. It is a funny situation after having more kids because you're just grateful for any babysitter, anyone that wants to watch the kids. You do what you want. You give them candy, you watch movies. They can stay up awake.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm quite with you on that one, but
I don't know. But it's much more lenient than the first kid.
Yes. Yep.
You're just grateful for any help you can get.
I agree with that one.
But it is funny because it's like then you're paying for it for the next week because they're grumpy and tired.
Yep. Very true.
You just have to be aware of that when you go on a date. Like
it's like a week, a week's worth of disaster. That's right, man. I think it's great if people can go take a date night every week with kids.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how. Man, I don't know.
Maybe at that point you would have to be clear on your boundaries.
Yeah. If it's like a weekly thing.
Yeah.
Our kids are a wreck for multiple days after those type of situations.
Yeah. But we just have to be mentally prepared for that. It's gonna happen. It's okay.
And you can just start a podcast for a date night instead.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. We don't need babysitters.
Yeah.
What else do we have? Oh, our kids had a talent show this week. At their school. They it's funny to think about how much I want to share about our kids, but they really wanted to try out for the talent show. Liam was in it. Our oldest was in the talent show last year. He did like a science experiment And then they both wanted to be in it this year, and I figured they should just do it together because I don't have time to come up with 2 different acts because they didn't want to do singing or any of the typical things. They're playing piano, but they both wanted to do the talent show. So like, they wanted to do a magic show. So we came up with the magic show in like an hour because the auditions were due the next day, you know.
That's how we roll.
That's how we roll. Came up with a few magic tricks and made some props, and it was just a video audition. So we did that, and there were many meltdowns during this audition.
It was rough.
It was so bad. Sent this audition. I'm just really hoping that they don't make the talent show because that means they have like 3 practices and they have to actually do the show. Like, this is gonna be a nightmare if we have to keep doing this over and over again. But sure enough, they made the talent show. There's only 15 acts out of the whole elementary school that made it, which made me feel even worse because like there's other kids that really want to do this. And sorry to Gateway Point kids that didn't make the talent show. But yes, their talent show was this week.
They did great.
They did great. It was
so good.
really cute.
It was so cute. They were just, it's so fun watching them work together. And one of her tricks wasn't going to work. And then so he helped her out and like switched it around. So it worked out really good and got a good reaction.
Yeah. She couldn't reach the microphone. So he helped her out there.
Yeah.
Too.
So they did some improv where they would talk about each of their tricks, but the microphone was too far away. So he could reach it. So narrated her tricks for her. And they did this all on the spot. It was good.
Yeah. They were really cute. I was
they
really proud of them. Mm-hmm.
And then it was really cute. We were like, I was riding bikes in the neighborhood with him after, and there was like a girl that ran up and was like, "Are you the kid from the talent show that did the magic show?" And he was like, "Yeah, that was me. Just like played it pretty cool." And I think she was probably a 4th or 5th grader, so he must have felt pretty cool.
Yeah, I bet that was a big moment for him.
It was. I could tell. He was trying to play it cool, but I could tell.
And now they're gonna want to do it next year, so wish me luck trying to come up with a new act.
Comments, people, comments. Tell us what a good non-typical talent show is.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a good week. Had some barbecues, as we mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Had the talent show. Read some interesting Facebook and Reddit posts. Yeah. And we are getting an Apple TV adaptation of the Cosmere. Biggest news of the week for me.
Super excited. Survived a week of no toddler naps and adjusting to that life.
Yeah.
It's a fun time.
All right. Well, this was a pretty great half hour.
It was, or however long it was.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, and I'd say leave us a review if we have any listeners so far.
And like and subscribe for
Thanks.
more.
See you next week.